Hi friends, once again KT sir is here from the channel Karthik. In my previous video, we had discussed about GST. In this video, we are going to talk about shares. But remember, this video is meant for the students. So basically, you may find few concepts which are not really applicable in our daily life. So just this video has the topic and the concept which is related to the textbook of grade 10. I hope I am clear with this. So let's start with the video. Now, to understand this concept, I have created one small scenario which will help us to understand what the shares are. So let's start. There is Mr. Raj who is searching a job, but whenever he approach any company, he always gets the reply there is no vacancy. So finally, he decides that he has to do a business. Now, for business, he has a capital of 1 lakh. So he was thinking which is a business he can start in 1 lakh. And finally, he decides to have a stall of vada pav because he was a good cook. Day by day, the customers were increasing and his business was growing. Now, since he was the only person who has invested in this business, he is the proprietor of this business and it is termed as proprietorship firm. Now, later on, उसने सोचा कि चलो business बढ़ाया जाए. Now, for that, he thought of having a professional setup as a restaurant. Now, for that, he needed a fund of 50 lakhs, but he did not have it. So then he spoke to his 2, 3 friends and he explained his concept. Later on, his 2 friends joined him and together they collected a 50 lakhs. Now this firm becomes a partnership because more than one person is involved and everyone is investing in that firm. So it comes under partnership. Now his restaurant was also doing very well. So later on, they all decided to have a chain of setup. Now change of setup yani kya? They wanted to have multiple places, their outlets, so more people can enjoy that food and their business can grow. Now, for that, the amount needed was 55 crores and they were not having it. So they involved 2, 3 people more and together they can collect only 5 crores. Now, rest balance is 50 crores, which is the biggest question in front of them. So later on, they decided to form a company under Indian Companies Act 1956. Now, once they become a company, the all partners who are the owners of the company, they become promoters. Now see, they need 50 crores. So 50 crores कोई ऐसे तो देगा नहीं. So what they said that we will give in return the shares. Now shares will have a face value of rupees 10. Now how much the amount they needed? They needed an amount of 50 crores. So 50 crores divided by 10 gives us 5 crores. So in other words, to collect 50 crores, they have to give 5 crore shares to the people so they will get the amount of 50 crores. अभी वो मिलेंगे कैसे? Now they cannot sell it directly. So what they did, they decided to give it to the public with the help of IPO. Now IPO stands for Initial Public Offer. Now here comes the concept of buying and selling the shares. After looking at the performance of the company and the financial reports, public gave 50 crores to the company and in return, company issued them the shares and hence that public have become now shareholders. So all those people had bought the shares of this company, now they are shareholders. Now see here, there are two companies, ABC and XYZ. Now in ABC, there are few shareholders, same way for XYZ also. Now company ABC is doing well, so whatever the profit company earns, it decides to distribute among the shareholders in a form of a dividend. Whereas XYZ is not doing well, so there is a loss for the company, hence there is no dividend for the people who have invested in XYZ. So people always prefer to invest in a company where they get a dividend and not in a company where the dividend is not given because the company is suffering a loss. Now for finding the dividend, the formula is rate of dividend upon 100 into face value. Now remember, in sums, if the face value is not mentioned, you are always going to take the face value as 100. You are always going to take the face value as 100. Now let's proceed further. Now, since the company XYZ was making loss, few shareholders thought of buying the shares of company ABC. But अभी वो कैसे होगा? रास्ते पे खड़े रह के तो नहीं होगा. So here comes in a picture the Bombay Stock Exchange. सर ऐसा क्यों? देखो वो लोग डायरेक्टली कंपनी में जाके खरीद नहीं सकते, तो वो लोग को एक मीडिएटर लगेगा. जो कंपनी के शेयर्स उनके लिए खरीद के उनको देगा. So that is a place, that is Bombay Stock Exchange, or we call it as share market. Now share market is not a place where anyone can walk in directly and buy the shares. You need to follow a proper protocol to buy the shares from the share market. Now let's take a shareholder from XYZ and from ABC. Now see here, company ABC is doing well. So right now the price is of 100 rupees. Now here XYZ company is not performing well. So the price value is 8 rupees. Let's say shareholder of company ABC wants to sell the share in a market. Now see, current market price is going on as 100, but the face value is 10. Now, since market price is greater than face value, we say these are premium shares. Now, here, if you observe, how do we get a market value? It is face value plus premium. Sir, क्या बोल रहे हो? See, the market value is 100, whereas face value is 10. So, when you subtract that 10 from the market value, you will get the premium price of 90. For the share of company ABC, the premium amount per share is rupees 90. Whereas if we talk about company XYZ, which is not performing well, the market value is 8, whereas face value is 10. Now here market value is less than face value, so it is being sold or it is being traded at a discounted price. Now discount price कितना है कैसे पता चलेगा? Same logic है. Now 10 minus 2 will give us 8, so that is the market value. So in other words, the market value here becomes face value minus discount. That is when the share is at a discount price. Now, since this both the persons need to do some transaction, they will approach a broker for getting the transaction done. Let's say this person wants to sell the shares of company ABC, and this company person wants to buy the shares of company ABC, and the market value is 100. Now see, this broker will not provide the service free of charge. So he is going to charge the brokerage. 1% as a brokerage. Now if the market value is 100, 1% becomes 1 rupee. So the person will get only 99 rupees. Sir, ऐसा क्यों? 100 is a market value minus brokerage will give us 99 rupees. Whereas the person who is buying the share will pay 100 plus 1, that is 101 to the broker. Hence, when you buy the shares, it is market value plus brokerage, but when you sell the shares, it is market value minus brokerage. You have to keep these two formulas in your mind. Now let's have a look at one sum. Find the number of shares received when 60,000 was invested in the shares of face value 100 and market value 1. Now see, when we talk about the amount invested, it is 60,000. Now when amount invested is there, we need to talk about market value and not the face value. We generally consider the face value only during the times of dividend. So here our market value is 120. Now to find the number of shares purchased, the logic is amount invested upon market value. So here the amount invested is 60,000, market value is 120, whereas face value is rupees 100. So the number of shares will become 60,000 upon 120. Now 12 ones are 12 fives are, so it becomes nothing else but 500 shares. So how many shares were purchased? 500 shares were purchased at rupees 60,000. Let's have a look at one more sum. Srimati Deshpande purchased shares of face value 5 at a premium of 20. How many shares will she get for rupees 20? Now see here, they have given us the face value and the premium, but they have not given us the market value. But agar premium amount pata hai, face value pata hai, so we can easily get the market value. Now how many shares she will get for rupees 20,000? So amount to be invested is rupees 20,000. Now first we need to find the market value. So market value कैसे मिलेगा? Face value plus premium. So here the market value is 5 plus 20, that will become 25 rupees. So now here 20,000 upon 25. If you divide this, basically you will get it as 800. So how many shares were purchased? 800 shares were purchased by Srimati Deshpande. Let's look at one more sum. Mr. Anmol purchased 50 shares of face value rupees 100 when the market value of the share was rupees 80. Company had given 20% dividend. Find the rate of return on investment. Now what is rate of return? See, usually many people just buy the shares and keep it. So every year they get a dividend from the company whenever the company declares a dividend. So they calculate what is the rate of return what they are getting. Now see here. First of all, how many shares were purchased? 50 shares. And what is the market value given? 80. And what is the face value given? 100. अच्छा, कंपनी ने क्या दिया? डिविडेंड दिया। कितना दिया? 20%. So dividend is 20. Now they will ask us to find the rate of return. Now the formula to find the rate of return is total dividend received upon total investment into 100. Now, first, we don't know the total investment, we don't know the total dividend received. So, let's find the dividend issued per share. Now, 20% of face value. So, 20 upon 100 into 100, which will give us rupees 20. Uska matlab kya? If you have one share, you are going to receive a dividend of rupees 20. Now, Mr. Anmol had 50 shares. So let's find the dividend issued on 50 shares. So it will become 50 into 20, that will become rupees 1000. Now we need to find the total investment. The total investment is what? Number of shares into market value. So here it is 50 into 80 will become rupees 4000. Now the rate of return is 1000 upon 4000 into 100. Now here, three zeros will cancel. So basically we get 100 upon 4, that is 25. So the rate of return is 25%. I hope you have understood this sum. Let's have a look at one sum. Srimati Mita Agrawal invested rupees 10,200 when the market value of the share is rupees 100. She sold 60 shares when the market value was 125 and sold remaining shares when the market value was 9. She paid 0.1 brokerage for each trading. Find whether she made profit or loss and how. Now see here, this will be a bit lengthy sum, so pay attention. Now first, what is given? What is the amount invested? 10,200 when the market value is rupees 100. Now first let's find the number of shares. Sir क्यों? देखो उन्होंने कुछ शेयर 125 पे बेचा, कुछ शेयर 90 पे बेचा, तो अपने को पता नहीं एग्जैक्टली कितने शेयर्स उनके पास है. So first we'll find the number of shares. Now number of shares is what? Amount invested upon market value of one share. So here it will become 10,200 upon 100. 0 gets cancelled, so it becomes 102. So she had 102 shares. Now what she did? She did a brokerage of 0.1% on each trading. Now if we are talking about a brokerage, it is rate of brokerage upon 100 into market value. So the brokerage per share will become here 0.1%. So 0.1 upon 100 into market value, that is 100. Now 20 gets cancelled, so it becomes 0.10. So basically, the brokerage for 102 shares will become how much? 102 into 0.1, that will give us rupees 10.20. So here, the net amount invested becomes 10,200 plus 10.20. So that becomes rupees 10,210.20. Now after that, she sold 60 shares when the market value was 120. Now here two types of transaction are carried. One part of the shares were sold when the market value was 120. So while selling 60 shares, the market value was 125. Now again she had paid the brokerage at that time. So here brokerage is what? 0.1 upon 100 into 125. Now both comes in a table of 25. So when you simplify, you'll get it as 0.125. Now this is the brokerage per share. So we have to find the selling price per share as 125 minus 0.125. Now when we do that, we get it as rupees 124.875. Now how many shares were sold? 60. So it will, the amount received will become 60 into 124.875. So that will become rupees 7492.5. Now after that, we show the remaining shares. Now remaining yani kitna? 102 minus 60 will become 42 shares. At market value was 90. So here again she paid the brokerage. The brokerage per share is what? 0.1 upon 100 into 90. Here 10 will get cancelled. So basically it will become 0.09. So here the selling price per share will become market value minus brokerage. So here it is 90 minus 0.09. So here it will become rupees 89.91. Now this is the selling price per share. How many shares is sold? 42 shares. So basically amount received on 42 shares will be 42 into 89.91. So that will give us rupees 3776.2. Now we have to find what is the net amount she received because she had done the transaction in two parts. So the net amount received will become 7492.5 plus 3776.22. So when we add it up, it becomes 11,268.7. Now here, if you observe, the amount invested is 10,210.20 and amount received is 11,268.72. Now since amount received on selling shares is greater than amount invested, she made a profit in the whole transaction. Now we have to find how much the profit she made. So profit will be 11,268.72 minus 10,210.20. Now that will become rupees 1,058.52. So Srimati Mita Agrawal made a profit of rupees 1,058.52. I hope you have understood this sum. Let's have a look at one more sum. Sri Batliwala sold shares of rupees 30,350 and purchased shares of rupees 69,650 in a day. He paid brokerage at the rate of 0.1% on sale and purchase. 18% GST was charged on brokerage. Find his total expenditure on brokerage and tax. Now see here, in this sum, Sri Batliwala sold the shares of rupees 30,350 and purchased the shares of rupees 69,650. Now on both transactions, he had paid a brokerage of 0.1%. So the brokerage is what? It is rate of brokerage upon 100 into market value. बट सर मार्केट वैल्यू तो है ही नहीं. हाँ मार्केट वैल्यू नहीं है बट नेट वैल्यू तो दिया हुआ है ना. सो इट विल बिकम 0.1 upon 100 into 30,350. Now 10 will get cancelled. So when you simplify this, you get it as rupees 30.35. Then when we talk about purchase section, here also the brokerage was 0.1%. So it is 0.1 upon 100 into 69,650. 10 will get cancelled. So basically on simplification, this will also become rupees 69.65. Now after this, the next part says 18% GST was charged on brokerage. तो brokerage पे GST भी लगा. Now GST का परसेंट कितना दिया है? 18%. So GST is what? Rate of GST upon 100 into taxable value. So here 18 upon 100 into the brokerage amount, that is 30.35. Now here, when you simplify this, you're going to get it as rupees 5.463. Same way here, it will become 18% of 69.65. So 18 upon 100 into 69.65. Again, when you simplify this, you'll get it as rupees 12.537. Now what they've asked, the total expenditure on brokerage and tax. Now total expenditure, यानी brokerage पे कितना खर्चा हुआ tax पे. So we have to add all these figures. So the total expenditure on brokerage and taxes. Now brokerage amount is 30.35 and 69.65. तो ये दोनों को add करेंगे. And GST पे कितना लगा? 5.463 and 12.537. So when we add this, the amount becomes 118. I hope you have understood this sum also. If you have found this video useful, please share it with your friends. Also like, share and subscribe my channel for the regular updates. If you come across any doubts, you can mention it in my comment section. Thank you.